G'day, Starlo here. In October 2022, my wife Jo and I crossed Bass Strait aboard the Spirit of Tasmania for a 10-day trip to the Apple Isle. In particular, we wanted to hook up with some members of Trout Guides and Lodges Tasmania, better known as TASSIE. We wanted to experience firsthand what these dedicated folk can offer to angling visitors to Tasmania, whether they're there for their first trip or their 20th. One of these TASSIE guides is Peter Donati of Unique Fishing Tours. Born and raised in Tassie, Peter's a true all-rounder, as happy putting clients onto bream, giant whiting or even gummy sharks as he is chasing trout, although fly fishing is Peter's passion. Today Peter's brought us to Four Springs Lake, just over half an hour from his home base in Launceston, and he's launching his polycraft boat to take us out onto this picturesque body of water which has quickly developed into one of Tasmania's trophy trout fisheries. Relatively shallow, quite warm and teeming with aquatic life, Four Springs tends to fish best early and late in the trout season. Excessive weed growth can present challenges in midsummer, all of which is explained beautifully in one of the Inland Fisheries Service's excellent brochures. But today Four Springs is looking perfect, and after a short run down the lake, Peter kills the outboard, deploys his drogue and sets us up for our first drift. And the signs are pretty good, especially with trout rising so close to the boat. We're lock-style fly fishing, casting 2 flies on our long leaders connected to a floating fly line downwind ahead of the slowly drifting boat. And Jo wastes no time getting into it, pinning our first trout of the day within minutes of pulling up.
Up.
And it looks like a ripper of a fish.
Do you crunch it?
No,
Soft.
no, it was soft. Oh, there he goes.
Brown trout like to come up behind. They like lures that go straight. They like to come up behind us like this.
Peter has a wealth of knowledge on all things fishing related, and his calm advice is worth its weight in gold as Jo battles what might well be her biggest ever trout.
Yep.
You just a dog it over.
Yeah, he's found some weed.
Yeah, just hold him up. He'll come out of it.
Here he comes.
That's it. He's still got go in him, you know.
Yeah.
He hasn't gone.
No.
He's going well. So.
Jo and I are both blown away by the size of this trout, and it's not done yet.
Fly, see? Okay, lift his head, lift his head, lift his head.
What a fish.
Nice fish.
Oh, that's a big fish.
See?
Now he's going to go.
Come on, mate. Here he comes. He's coming up again.
That's a big fish. Dog it, old bugger. The other fly's tangled up in the front, so that's it. Angling towards me.
Oh my God!
It's a big fish.
Oh my God!
Well done. Took the black top one.
Woohoo! Far out. I've never had to work so hard on a.
Yeah, it was a dogged thing.
Oh, he's only a dogger one. Won't you get a fit one? Like one that goes.
Easier fishing.
Yeah, but he was heavy, you know.
I'm just going to sit him down.
Peter really looks after these beautiful fish too. He likes to swim them in the knotless landing net to regain their strength before allowing them to simply swim away.
Got him? I always let them swim away.
These critters are too good to catch just once.
And then belly up, you know. We don't want him doing that.
God no, he's too good.
Jo was stoked after landing her new PB trout on fly, but she's not one to rest on her laurels. She was straight back into it.
There's a fish out there. Halfway between me and the swan.
Oh, put him on him. Put it on him. You can reach that.
She'd spotted a trout rising near some feeding swans. These birds pull up aquatic vegetation from the lake bed, dislodging lots of insect nymphs and other trout tucker in the process. The fish know this, and they often follow the swans around. Jo made her cast into the area where she'd seen a subtle swirl and began stripping lines smoothly to pull her 2 small wet flies through the water.
Come on, fish.
Watch closely to see what happened next.
Yep.
Fish on.
You've got to go to one fly after this.
This one's not as big.
You don't know yet. That last one I thought was only a small 3 pounder, and it was 5.5. This one here is 3
Oh, he's heavy.
Yeah, just hold him there now. See how he'll go?
Yeah.
A bit livelier, this one.
Might be a rainbow.
No, I don't think
No, it's a brown. It's the same as the last one, a bit smaller. 3 pounds. Bring him up. Get his head
Yep.
up. Get his head up. That's what happens. You think, oh, he's not much. And then he goes, pops your line. Pops the knot. There's no hurry. This is where you try and...
He's still a big fish. He's got a big bloody tail.
They're all good fish in there.
Yeah.
He'll be the same as the other one, a bit smaller. He's a buck.
Just going to turn my rod over so that if he takes a
just hold him
run.
like that. His head's down, so you don't need to force him up.
Here he comes.
Let him come up. He's a good fish. He's only 4 pounds, this one. He's a beautiful fish. This one.
He's got great colour.
You're smacking him, eh?
Well, as long as he comes into the
If you'd done
boat.
this on Saturday in a comp, you'd win it. Because a bite day like this, you know, a few fish is all you need. That's it. That's it. Okay, lift his head down. He's just got it.
Beautiful fish.
Lift him. Just got to watch that fly there.
Yep.
Especially if it sticks in your head.
Hey! Oh, he's a feisty bugger. Wow. This fishery. What?
Look at the size of that. Look at this condition that's in.
Wow.
Little boy.
I'm just in awe of the fish here. Woohoo!
What's your second PB? You want to unhook him there? Oh,
He's hooked on you.
He's very fat.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Firm grip there. This is really tight there. You can't hurt him there. Underneath.
Oh, he's grunting at me.
Yeah, don't be afraid to hug him.
Hey, babe.
After a couple of quick happy snaps, the big brownies once again swum in the net to recover its strength before swimming away. Beautiful.
That's a fish, that one.
Thank you.
Jo is on a real roll now. As they say, when you're hot, you're hot. And she was on fire. This next fish was a real performer too.
Right, you're going to have to start fishing with one hand, I think. You're making me look good.
Whoa! Woohoo! That was a ripping jump.
You're not done yet. He's a long way from done. That would have been on your camera too.
It was.
Pull him up, Ben. He's in the lead. Get him up. That's it. You might have to walk up here.
This one kept Jo on her toes, literally.
You good?
Yep.
Okay. I'll go for your line. Okay. Well done.
Yep, I just got to stay tight on this fish too.
Jo's decided to get the fish back onto the reel to control her loose line.
Oh, look at him up now.
Yeah. All right.
Beautiful.
Oh, got him back to the reel.
Oh, in thunder. Works. All right. Okay, so swing him around the other way, Jo. Just take the rod around the other side. That's it. Just keep it, yeah, and he'll come.
Check out how close we are to the lake edge. No wonder land-based anglers do pretty well here too.
What a beautiful looking fish.
Okay, put a bit on him. So he's still got his head down.
Yep.
He's just up there. I won't try and let him.
Woohoo!
Oh, now you hold it.
Oh, that's a beauty. Look at that.
So we're thinking, oh, he's not very good.
3 from 3 for Jo, and what crackers they were too. Surely it must be my turn.
Come on, old mate. Catch you again. Ooh,
Oh, through the hole.
through the hole in the net. See how he goes.
Woo! Yeah, he's off. See ya. Thanks for visiting.
Put a little bit of Shy on with the camera, that one. You've got the touch, see? Well done.
Oh, this one's a bit
Keep
feisty.
one up.
It was clearly Jo's day. She could do no wrong and I couldn't pull a hit.
Oh, he's a little fella. 2-pounder.
Woohoo!
Oh, back up to the old, the old fish magnet. Never seen nothing like it.
Number 4. Even Peter was impressed, I reckon. We weren't even bothering about photos now.
Good.
She'll go.
There she goes.
She's a bit now. Look how thick they are. Look.
Yeah.
She's a wee bit tired.
I was starting to feel a bit like a spectator or Jo's full-time cameraman. She was putting on quite a display of lock-style fly fishing prowess. Just check out how close to the boat this next fish nails her flies.
Oh, yep.
I'll get a fly in the water. On the hang, this time.
No, it was on the strip. Yeah, it was on the paws.
Just there.
Yeah, I know.
Flash.
Right, come round this way. Oh, live little one.
Little one.
Yeah.
All good. Don't want to catch all the big ones.
No, got to leave some for Steve.
Just hold him now, because he will go.
Yeah. Woohoo!
He's such a big fish.
Good jump.
These are lively.
Yeah,
See how
isn't it?
Jo rolls her rod upside down when the leader knots are inside the guides? This makes it much easier to clear them if the trout suddenly bolts again.
Well, that's your bag limit, Joe. Sorry, I'll drop you off at the jetty. You can have a snooze. I'll have a fish myself then. It's going to be this bloody easy.
Lovely looking fish.
There's a nice one. All thick though. All silver.
The smallest one yet. Top fly?
Looks like it. That one. That one. Been
Wow.
all the fat one except for that one.
It's amazing.
He hasn't fattened right up yet, but it's a beautiful fish.
How's that
He
look?
did use
Yeah,
a bit.
great.
Was that number 5? Yeah.
Deep it up. Deep him up. About bloody time.
But finally my moment came and I found myself connected to a ripper of a trout.
Big fish. He's the biggest one of all.
He's in the weed.
Oh,
He's still swimming.
yep. Just
He'll
keep
come
it
out.
on. He'll bust the weed will break.
Peter had warned me that my 5-weight outfit was a tad light for these 4 Springs fish, and it looked like he might be right. I just couldn't keep this beast up out of the weed beds. All I could do was maintain pressure and hope for the best.
Come on, fish. Come on. Come on.
All right, I think
Here we go. Come on. Come on, fish. He's moved.
he's still there.
He's going to go upwind from him.
Peter's repositioning on the boat eventually did the trick.
Are you ready? Because he's going.
Yeah, I think he's...
He's had a sleep. Well done. Yeah. It's hard to see there. That.
Yeah,
He's a good fish.
I don't think he's as big as Jo's first one.
No, he's not. God, he looked big when he jumped.
Like that. Oh, I got that.
He's bigger than
Yeah, good stuff. Got the whole
Kilo
salad, got the whole kit and caboodle here. Ooh.
all good, mate.
Yay!
It's a big fish, mate.
Oh,
It's a big fish.
he is. Thanks, mate.
Have a sit down, mate.
Yeah.
Might be easier because I'd hate you to go, what? Trying to grab him.
Oh, God, he's got some weight.
He's a big fish, mate.
It's nice to have a bit of weed on there, too. That's my biggest trout on fly in a few years.
Point his head to me.
Good day on the Springs.
Mate.
I thought it'd be an ordinary day. Yeah. Put him in there, mate.
Yep.
Oh, you got it done it all?
Yep, all good.
Get him swimming. Mate.
Here we go.
You might be able to black. Here he comes.
Little one. After finally breaking my duck with that lovely fish, I hooked up again just a few casts later. Oh, he's not that little.
Where's that little one? I haven't seen a little one in here yet.
No.
Yes, it's a little rainbow.
Oh, big one. Oh, big one.
Little one?
Little one. Little 6-pounder.
He's on the go, this bloke.
Oh, he is
He's a real fish.
raging, this thing.
He's a real fish. You got him?
What the hell? I'm into the backing. Oh my God.
20 metres there. Do you want me to go with him?
Yeah, you might have to.
Okay. Nice how I looked in. How big was he?
6.5.
All right.
Look at the belly of line that's dragging behind him. It's like a bloody having a queenfish on.
Bloke towards him. Just got him to the road he did line up.
Still in the backing.
Yeah, you're well into the back of mate.
I can't remember ever having chased a trout with the boat before. This fish was crazy. He's staying right up on top at the moment.
That's good. Yeah, that's where we want him. This is probably a bait feeder. Because he was pretty explosive, wasn't he?
Explosive? Little one, and I'm stripping it towards the boat and it just lit up.
He says, "Oh, little one, no, little one."
Lit the afterburner.
Yeah, little one, all right. Just watch your rod, Joe. Just,
Yep.
You all good?
Yeah, I'm good.
He's a big fish, mate. He's a good fish. Might be 5 or 6.
Holy smoke!
Look him, did you?
No, he's hooked in the mouth, I think.
He's a lively bait. He ain't done yet.
No, I know.
He's down. Just be ready.
He'd been eating his wheat bix, this one.
Yeah, he didn't just have to go.
No, he's in. I can see him.
It's a long time since a brown took me into the backing.
He took me in the back and pretty quick.
Pretty damn quick when he decided to go.
Yeah, that's a real four spring fish. You're not done yet? Oh, gee, he's got a big tail on him. Oh, I'm glad those nymphs are working.
Jeez.
That's it, just hold him now. He's still green.
Ah, shouldn't be green after that run.
No, he's still got a bit.
Don't go that far on my
He's
holidays.
still got a bit, yeah. He might be a bait fish chaser, you know. He's fit bugger. You got him on the black nymph. That'll do ya.
Oh, into the weed. Come out, come out, come out, come out,
Done
come
that
out.
yet?
Come out, come out.
Oh no, come on. Come on.
Come out of there. For the second time today, I was buried in the
Go
weed.
inside a bit. This is what they do.
And this time,
You think
it
you've
wasn't
gone
looking
and they just
good.
Go straight down. He went in that way, didn't he? Probably come here. He sort of come from here and went in. Is he pulling the line out?
No, we're just drifting off him.
Just take him out this side, Steve. Just there.
Might have to back up on him.
No. I'm going to go like that.
Yeah, okay.
That's where 6-7 weight just doesn't happen like that, you know. Like I've got the pull. But saying that, he's as strong a fish as I've seen for a long time. I couldn't believe. I thought you'd foul hooked him when he took off. But.
Not sure if he's still there or not.
Yeah, just the same as before. We'll just keep it on him for a while and see what happens. We know it worked last time.
Sadly, this time we didn't have a win. Eventually, I got my flies back and a heap of weed, but no fish.
Yeah, no man, he played up something fierce.
I guess it's losses like this one that bring us back again. What a day we'd had though, and best of all, we were coming back tomorrow with Peter for a second bite at the cherry and another crack at this incredible fishery on Launceston's doorstep. We couldn't wait. Our second day at Four Springs presented a big change in the weather from the sunny, breezy conditions of the previous day. This morning it was dull, overcast and drizzling occasionally. Perfect weather for a mayfly dun hatch, in Peter's opinion, and of course, he was spot on with his call. Fish were already rising and other expectant anglers were hitting the lake. Newly hatched mayfly duns were popping up, drying their wings and flying away, even landing on the boat, and all kinds of predators were targeting them, from musk ducks to trout. Everywhere you looked around the calm lake, there were fish rising. It really got our blood pumping. Despite the relative lack of wind, we still deployed the drogue to slow our drift. But in light of the abundance of mayfly duns, we made a switch of tactics on Peter's advice, changing from stripping a pair of nymphs to suspending a nymph 60 centimetres or so under a buoyant dry fly that was intended to imitate an adult mayfly. We made our first casts out over the grey water with high expectations. Instead of stripping our flies, we simply let them drift naturally, just picking up the slack line.
One out here, out the back there.
I love this style of fishing, but I wasn't overly surprised that it was Joe who drew first blood.
The machine's back into it. It's been 5 minutes, Joe. Unreal.
That's a good fish.
Nice fish.
It is a nice fish.
Yeah, I like this one.
It's got a good thick tail. Oh, he's heavy. I can tell you that much. I want it to keep his head out. Oh, he's not as big as I thought. Just strong.
Only 3 pounds or 4 pounds.
Oh, yes.
Just the basic.
He's beautiful though.
Yeah, beautiful fish.
Oh, that was good.
What a start to the day. It's easy to begin taking trout like this for granted at Four Springs, but the fact is, they're very special critters. Well worth spending a bit of time reviving. Too good to catch once.
Down there and you can't do it.
He's got great colouring.
I was keen not to let Joe get too far ahead today, and I was pretty happy to pin the next one, which turned out to be a great aerial performer, fighting doggedly all the way to the landing net, as they all did.
He doesn't like the sight. Look at that net. Look at you. Isn't that the bloke caught me last week? Cheers, mate.
These brownies are all wild-spawned fish, relocated here to Four Springs from Great Lake up on the Central Highlands. They have superb genetics, and it shows.
Nice. Nice looking fish.
Very good nick, aren't they?
Unreal. What am I doing? All right, let's go down and eat some nymphs. Come see you tomorrow.
Yep.
From that point on, it all became a bit of a blur, with one fish after another being hooked,
Yes, nice
caught,
work.
landed, released, and occasionally lost.
Through me.
We even scored a couple of the lake's feisty rainbows for variety.
Good man.
I can rarely remember having experienced better or more consistent fly fishing for big trout than we enjoyed on that remarkable second day at Four Springs Lake with Peter Donati. It's a truly exceptional and world-class trout fishery, a genuine trophy water in every sense of that sometimes overused term. Joe and I can't wait to get back there. If you love your fly fishing as much as we do, I'd not only strongly recommend putting Four Springs Lake on your bucket list, I'd also make a point of seeking out Peter Donati from Unique Fishing Tours as your guide for this exceptional venue. He really knows his stuff, and his polycraft boat's great to fish from. And don't forget, he can take you bream or whiting fishing in the salt too. He's a genuine all-rounder. The other thing you absolutely have to do when you're in Launceston is visit Mike and Jules Stevens at the Essential Fly Fisher. If you're a keen fly fisher like me, no trip to Tasmania is complete without a visit to the Essential Fly Fisher in downtown Launceston. This is a candy store for grown-ups and it has an awesome lineup of gear. Best of all, the staff all speak fluent trout fishing and have their finger firmly on the pulse of what's happening. They'll happily point you in the right direction and make sure you have the appropriate gear and flies. Even Jock will add his 2 bobs worth. Oh, what a great dog. Seriously though, be sure to visit the Essential Fly Fisher. They'll fix you up with all the right fly patterns for 4 Springs and everywhere else in the Apple Isle. But all too soon, our time in Tasmania came to an end and we found ourselves making our way back to Devonport to board the Spirit of Tasmania and sail north. But the excitement wasn't over because, as luck would have it, we were on the first northbound sailing back into the Spirit's new home in Victoria at the port of Geelong. This shift to Geelong has been greeted with a great deal of enthusiasm by many people, and there was quite a sense of occasion about the first sailing with lots of press coverage and a big turnout for the unveiling of the Spirit's new home in Victoria. With the ribbon cut, the crowd poured into the new terminal for a look. This is a place that I think Joe and I will be seeing a fair bit of in coming years because we plan to get back to Tasmania as often as we possibly can. We love it. Anyway, until next time, this is Starlo wishing you tight lines.